history side. And the name of our chapter is the Revolt of 1857. Okay, so we can say that the year 1857 is a remarkable year in our Indian history, because in this time so many people, they have just start revolt against the British policy, against the British rule. Before that also so many revolutions are there. Okay, but we can say that these are revolutions, they are not very much popular. Okay, so we can say that this year 1857 is very much memorable year, and we can say that in this year the beginning of the beginning of fighting against the British rule, it is just started. So here we can just say that in this year, because so many people, they are just very much aggressive about the policies of the British government, because the policies of the British government, it is not very much favor in the Indian people. So the people, they have just start the revolt. So we can say that this revolution is not starting in a single day. So many causes behind this revolution, that why the people start revolts against the British rule. Different causes are there. So first we will discuss the different causes that why people start revolt against the British government. So here we will discuss some causes of the revolt of 1857. First we will discuss the political causes. Political causes, it means you know that Lord Dalhousie. Okay, so Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General, and he has just introduced one policy, that is doctrine of lapse. And I think in the last chapter also I have explained you about the policy of doctrine of lapse. No problem if you not learn it. So what is the policy of doctrine of lapse? Doctrine of lapse, it means if any kingdom are there, any ruler is there, and if the ruler, they have not their, we can say that, male hire, not their own male hire. So in this condition, the British government will annex their kingdom in their own kingdom. मतलब किसी राजा का कोई बेटा नहीं होगा तो उसके राज्य को ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट अपने राज्य में मिला लेगी. That is the policy of doctrine of lapse. So in this policy, because Lord Dalhousie started introduce this doctrine of lapse policy, and according to this policy, so many kingdom like Satara, Nagpur, Jhansi, they have just annexed with the British kingdom, because in this kingdom, in this ruler, they had not their male hire. So the British government, they have just started to annex their kingdom in their own kingdom. So that's why the people, it means the ruler, they are just start against to the British government. So we can say that this is the political causes of the revolt of 1857. If we discuss about the social causes, so in social causes, the British government, they have just want to discontinue some of the social evils. This is the social evils, and like we can say that the practice of sati, the practice of child marriage, the practice of female infanticide, and the system of polygamy. So British government just want to discontinue this all type of practice, and they just started that again. They just want to they are just in a favor of widow remarriage. So the social people, definitely this all the things, we can say that the social reformer, whatever the British government, that is very good for the society, but then also the people, those who are belong to the society, they are not very much happy about this transformation, because they are just thinking about the same, that in this way our social custom, our social belief, it will just destroy it. So they are not in a favor of British government, that why they are just discontinue this practice. According to them, the practice of sati, it is their own custom, and they want to continue. They want to continue the child marriage. They want to continue the female infanticide. But British government don't want to continue this. definitely they are collecting the land revenue from the peasant, but they cannot just take this money from. They cannot use this money from their own. They have to submit all the money to the British government, and in this way their income it very much affected. So we can say that this is the economic causes, because the people, those who are living in that, their income is more affected, and they are not gaining income, and they are not gaining the profit. So that's why this is the economic causes. If we discuss about the religious causes, okay, so when the Western education is started, so some of the people, they have just to think that with the help of the Western education, our Indian culture, it will just destroy, and maybe this British government, and they will just convert our religion into their own religion, and they will not, in this way we cannot follow our rules and regulation. So maybe our religious sentiment will be affected. And in this, one more thing is that where the temples are there, where the mosques are there, so in this place also the British government are just taking a high amount of land revenue. So that's why they are very much angry, and they have just, this is also we can say that one more cause of the religious cause. Okay. Now if we discuss about the military causes. So in the military causes, because so many people, they are just so many Indian people, they are just joined the army of the British government. But in this condition, one thing is that we can say that whatever the high posts are there, so the British government given all the high posts to their own people only the British peoples, and the Indian people, either they are very much capable, but then also the British officers give them a low rank, and no, they are in this way they have no any chances of the promotion, and their salary they are also very much less compared to the officer of the Britishers. So they are also very much aggressive, and in this way one more thing is that if either they will just do the good work for the country, either not, their condition is not good, and they will get a less amount of salary only. So we can say that this is the military cause. If we discuss about the immediate cause, so immediate cause, it is at a time when Enfield rifle is just introduced, Enfield rifle. And one more important thing is that in the Enfield rifle, that in this rifle, if the cartridge of this rifle is grazed with the fate of animal, especially cow and pig, and it is just a hurt, because when the soldier, the military men, when they have to use this Enfield rifle, so they have to bitten off, उसको मुंह से काटना पड़ता था, and they are just hurt the sentiment of the people. So they are just start to reverse against the British government, because they don't want to, they just want to use this rifle. But the British government, they are not very much, we can say that they are not very much happy or very much feel about this, about the feelings of the Indian people. So at the time, firstly in the Barakpur, it is just started in the Barakpur, and after that in the Barakpur also it is just this revolt is started in the Barakpur. Mangal Pandey is just first time opposed to this Enfield rifle, but unfortunately he is just captured and hanged to be dead. So it means we can say that these are the different causes that why the people, they are just start the revolt against the British government. So we have discussed here political causes, social causes, economic causes, religious causes, military causes and immediate causes. Now we discuss the center of the revolt. It means what are the main center of this revolt. So in this series, first we discuss about the Kanpur. Okay. So in the Kanpur, the revolution, or we can say that the revolt led by the Nana Sahib. And this Nana Sahib, they are the adopted son of the Peshwa Bajirao. And the Nana Sahib, they have just strong people like Tatya Tope. But then also he just failed, and we can say that the place Kanpur, it is just annexed by the British government. If we discuss the second place, that is the Lucknow. So in the Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal led the revolt, and the Begum Hazrat Mahal took an active part in this uprising, and she had declared Birji Qadar, the son of Wajid Ali Shah, as the new Nawab, and the new Nawab to recognize Bahadur Shah Zafar as the emperor. But then also this uprising is not continue, and she is also failed. If we discuss about the Jhansi, so in Jhansi the repression is led by the Rani Lakshmi Bai, because according to the policy of British government, doctrine of lefts, they are not just adopted, because Rani Lakshmi Bai, they have their adopted son Damodar Rao, and the British government, they don't want that he will sit on the throne of Jhansi, because their policy of doctrine of lefts, because he is not a male are the main important hire of the Jhansi, so they are not want to continue to the Damodar Rao. So that's why the Rani Lakshmi Bai, they have just led the revolution with the help of Tatya Tope. But when she just fell, so in this way we can say that this Rani Lakshmi Bai is also fell. And if we discuss about the Bareilly, so in the Bareilly, Khan Bahadur Khan. So the Khan Bahadur Khan, he just we can say that uprising is led, and when the revolt failed, so he accepted to the Nepal. But the Nepalese people, they are just hand over to Bahadur Shah Zafar to the British government. If we discuss about the Bihar, so in the Bihar, Kunwar Singh, he just led this revolt, and he just destroyed the indigo factories. But we can say that they are also failed with due to the British government. So these are the main center of the revolution, like Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi, Bareilly, and Bihar. And Delhi, because at the time Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar, he was a Nawab of Delhi, but British government, it is very much important for the British government to recapture the Delhi. So that's why the British government, they just successful in recapturing the Delhi in September 1857, and they just arrested to the Bahadur Shah Zafar, and their rest of life they just spent in this prison only, jail only, and where he just died. So these are the main center. It means in this chapter we have discussed the causes of the revolt, and we have discussed the center of the revolt. So we can say that definitely this revolt is starting with a very much great zeal. But then also this revolt was not success. So now we discuss the causes of failure of this revolt. That why this revolt is not success. Suppose if the revolt was success, so we can achieve our freedom very soon. But there are some reasons. So one by one we discuss some reason. One important reason is that this revolt, it not spread all part of the country, because this is the main center of the revolt. So this is the main center, main reason that this revolt is not spread all part of the country. And one more reason is that all types of all parts of the king, because definitely it is not spread. So all the kings and the Nawabs, they are not supported. And one more reason is that definitely the Begum Hazrat Mahal, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tatya Tope, they are very much brave leader. But then also something missing in this thing, that they don't have the good type of plan, and they have just lack of leadership. So we can say that this is also the reason that this revolt was failed. And one more thing is that the British government, they have this strong army, and they have very much different types of weapons are there. But the Indian people, because they are very much weak, and their army, it is not proper army, and they don't have the proper type of weapon also. So, and the economic whatever in this part of the this part where the rebellion started, the people, they are not economically strong. So that's why this is some reason that this revolution are failed. Now we'll discuss some consequences of the revolt. Okay, so if we discuss the consequences of revolt 1857, so definitely this revolt was failure revolt, but then also some consequences are there. It means the main power, it is just a shift. It means earlier this power is in the hand of the East India Company, but after that it is just a shift to the Queen Victoria. Okay, and then also the British East India Company, it means their rule is ended, and the designation of the Governor General of India was changed to Viceroy, and the Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. So we can say that the Government of India Act 1858 was issued after the revolt of 1857. So in this way, some things are there. According to this act, we can say that the social custom and tradition of the people of India would be respected and no discrimination. It means in this act, it is just mentioned that whatever the social customs of the people of India, whatever their rules and regulations are there, so they can just continue it, and the government will not any type of interfere in their social custom. Second is that the people of India would be given job in a public office, and this job would be given as their capability. If they will got the higher rank, so if they will just very much good in particular field, so in this way they can just got this job. It means not only these jobs, whatever the government jobs are there, these government jobs are not offered to only the people of the British. And the policy of annexation, because the Lord Wellesley, they have just started the policy of annexation, doctrine of lapse. So this policy is to be discontinued. And the promises were also made regarding industrial and public welfare development. And then also, it means that the government have just given so many promises to the people that definitely will just do the development of the people. But we can say that in this way, the promises was just short-lived. Whatever the promises is in this way, they are very much short-lived. And again, the British government, they are just continue their own rules and regulation without any promises. So that's why the people of India, they just want the self-government, they want freedom from British rule.